এই এই আরে শোন না
যাচ্ছি।
This morning, the finance minister of our country has outlined a budget that is forward-looking, a budget which promotes economic growth, a budget which is focusing on inclusive development for a Viksit Bharat by 2047. It is a budget with the potential to unlock greater prosperity for the country, with the guiding spirit of inclusivity. And it builds on the same 4 pillars of India that the previous budgets have spoken about. Garib, the youth, the Annadata and the Nari. Today's budget outlined 4 clear engines for the growth of the nation. Agriculture, focus on MSMEs, investments and export. For agriculture, the Agri-Districts program for 100 districts, the PM Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana, to enhance agri-productivity, crop diversification, post-harvest storage augmentation, better irrigation facilities and better credit facilities for 1.7 crore farmers will go a long way in boosting the agricultural economy of the country. The Rural Prosperity and Resilience program will further this by addressing the underemployment in the agricultural sector, creating more opportunities for people in the agricultural sector for creating better employment. Atmanirbharta in pulses, Atmanirbharta in urea production will go a long way in further boosting agricultural productivity of the country. What I'm personally very excited about is the focus of setting up a Makhana board to improve the production and promotion of Makhana as a superfood, which is something that we can do not only for India, but it is something that India can give to the world as well. On MSMEs, the idea is how can we position India as a global manufacturing hub, and MSMEs are responsible for 47% of our exports. So I think some good measures for MSMEs, right from the classification being enhanced by 2.5 and 2 times respectively, to improving access to credit by increasing limits. The whole information around looking at labor-intensive sectors and having new policies for employment, along with focusing on sectors such as footwear, sectors such as toys, and a scheme to make India a global hub for toys. The National Institute of Food Tech in Bihar and the National Manufacturing Mission to further make in India, including for EV cells, batteries, motors, controllers, wind turbines and grid-scale batteries. I think these will all help propel the new economy into India. When we look at investments, there was a lot of positive momentum and a lot of positive announcements around boosting investment across investments in people, in economy and investments for future innovation. There was a lot of speak about investment in centers of excellence for AI and education, for medical education, for setting up cancer centers in all district hospitals within the next 3 years. Even the social security scheme for welfare for online platform workers and gig workers via the e-Shram portal for 1 crore gig workers will go a long way in furthering the gig economy in India. The finance minister also spoke about the public-private partnerships that are important for growing the country, and that each ministry will come up with PPP project ideas to be developed within the next 3 years. Today's budget also had a very interesting component of creating a sense of competition and challenge between different sectors and between different states to ensure that everyone puts their best foot forward. And that is when everybody comes together collectively as a nation to promote the nation significantly. On exports, there was a talk around the export promotion mission to be set up. The digital public infra right from Bharat TradeNet for trade across nations to simplify that. A lot of conversation around Industry 4.0 and a lot of announcements around improving ease of doing business. So I think including setting up a national framework for promoting global capability centers, especially in emerging tier 2 cities. So I think it was all in all a very good budget, a very forward-looking budget which takes into account all strata of society all different sectors for economic development, and every region, right from the extreme west to the extreme east to the extreme north and extreme south of our country. A very holistic budget, and a budget that builds on the previous budgets, and a budget that has a lot in it for the youth, especially given that 65% of our country is under the age of 35. And I think all the right measures for inclusivity, for employment, for skilling, for growth, for productivity, for manufacturing, for exports, every sector, everything was very, very, very well thought through. Thank you so much.
So after seeing the all budget, that Bengal is little bit of deprived, even some TMC leaders, they are complaining that Bengal is deprived.
When you look at the budget, this is a budget for the nation. And everything that has been spoken about in the budget applies to every state fairly equally, right? So I don't agree with you. Thank you. What we'll now do is we'll invite one by one sectoral heads for us, so they can brief you specifically on each of the sectors. So can we start with Mr. Budhia? Mr. Budhia.
The Honorable Finance Minister has presented this budget as engine of growth for employment, exports. The emphasis on exports, particularly as the chairman of CII National Committee on Exports, I would like to say that this is a time when the world is looking at India, and the slogan "Make for India, make for the world," I think very rightly has been truly emphasized in this budget. There are several announcements to make India as a global manufacturing